NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's complete to Fuller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their 2nd-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Back deep to return is Cyrus Jones. Fielded at the 20. Jones breaking from the contact. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. From the 41, Jackson. And he's got the rookie from Oklahoma, Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Check 13. Check 13. Wide. Get wide.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Ready? 20, Mike, 20. And let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Tighten down. There you go. Check safety.
They'll look to run with Ingram, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
5 down. Stand up in. Check it.
On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Trenton Cannon, his 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
At their own 25-yard line.
What's that?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Back to the air. Watson on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Here's Watson. He's going to air one out. This is caught at the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 56 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Watson now going to run the option right. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
At the Ravens' 21-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
First and goal, Houston.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd and goal. Watson got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown.
Touchdown, Houston.
Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Hill. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Throwing is Jackson. Dancing to it, and I think the ball's out, and the Texans scoop it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the same play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting them in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into...
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Another time now.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Watson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that 1st quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the 2nd quarter. Now this throw caught left side. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Man, I got you.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Those are the types of throws that Jackson has to be more efficient with this year. He really put an emphasis on improving his passing accuracy in the offseason. Because last year as a rookie, 58%, that was it. And his quarterback coach said the ball is coming out of his hand cleaner. The timing looks better. That's what they're hoping for. Everybody knows he can run, but now he continues his quest to be more well-rounded and improve on his conservative 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns he threw for last season. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They give to Cannon. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. 16 yards, a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Let's go, D. And go Mike 20, Mike 12 and over. Hey, zip it. I'm coming. Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 12. Match box. Mike, they're not ready for this. They still
Jackson on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll roll him, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the 2nd. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now third and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but two incompletions since. Watson looks to throw again. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To the air yet again. Watson. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 21, it's second and 10. From the gun, a run with Cannon. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Back to Cannon again on first down. They'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now it's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Jackson is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
There we go. Come on, set. Twitch, Pittsburgh. I got him. Hey,
After the interception, here's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Jackson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
Mike 41. Get that.
Jackson from the shotgun. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson with a give to Miller. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Carr.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout. An injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Check 41. I got you, son.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead. his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now it's Watson. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Let's go.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 51 yards.
First down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, it's Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 3-yard line.
36. Wild Bill.
Here's Watson, option left. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call forward.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 75 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Fells has it, left side. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Watson from the gun, he'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
A gain of 15. And the Texans 1st down.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter, and they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, it's Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans cut into that lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will shave 1 more off this lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a 1-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Jackson now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Ingram. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 44, Jackson. Caught right side at Snead. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Ready? Motivation. It's been a long day for you. Watch the run. They're running it.
They'll run on first down with Cannon. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On second down, Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Set, ready, and read. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Okay,
From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 14th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
49, Texans 24.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
23 yards on the tuck and run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The outcome of this one, Well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
He's got a man complete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a first down carry, it's Hill. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it.